you, John. I'm very happy to introduce Heather Wolbeck to you all today. I asked Heather to come speak because I guess I've known you for a few years now. I've been really impressed at how she operates her business. She's, as those of you who are business owners know, it is no small feat to run a restaurant. She's faced some interesting hurdles, such as the street her restaurant is on being closed for quite a while. She also hires a lot of teenagers, including both of my children. And she knows more things about them than I do. She also is like a second mom to them, and they have learned a tremendous amount from her, not just how to be a good employee, but they see what she deals with every day as a business owner. And it's been very eye-opening to both of them. And I'm very thankful to her for teaching them so much. But Heather also is a mom. She has teens of her own and a college student and an older child. She hires lots of teams. She also hires a variety of people from all walks of life. And that doesn't always make her job easier. Sometimes it probably makes it harder. But if you have not been to the Queen of Squash, I highly recommend it. They have food for every palate. Plant-based, gluten-free, Whole30, or meat and potatoes. And it's all very good. I recommend the turkey smash burger, the pear salad, or any of the flatbreads. And we do eat a lot of their food. The other thing I wanted to mention is Heather is also very community-minded. You will see her or her staff out and about at various community events. When I asked her to donate to the Girls' Day event that Marie started, she immediately said yes, so that she is a Rotarian in spirit, for sure. A few more facts about Heather. She's a longtime resident of Central Illinois, a graduate of both Illinois Central College, woo, and Bradley University. She created the Queen of Squash, a modern restaurant, bar, and market. It opened in May of 2023, and the Queen of Squash specializes in gluten-free, dairy-free, vegetarian, vegan, low-carb, and Whole30 options. Now I will turn it over to Heather.
Hello, thank you for having me today. I'm gonna do my best to keep you entertained, maybe laugh, I don't know. This is kind of a full circle moment. Is Jim Barrett still here? I worked here when I was 18 years old. There he is. When I was going to ICC, and for the young gentlemen in this room, you may not realize it now, but every job, every part of your educational journey, volunteering, it's shaping you. And you may have a crappy job, and you may think, I'm getting money in that stuff. But you're gonna learn something. So when I was 18, and I don't know if they do this anymore. I got a job at Cater-In, and I learned determination. My very first weekend, you know, they have weddings here, I was put on dishes. And when the dishes got caught up, I sliced meat. And I did that all weekend. All I kept thinking was, they're trying to break me. This is the worst job. The absolute worst job. I can't believe I applied here. I'm covered in dishwasher, and then I gotta switch to this meat. I'm gonna cut my hand off, and he's not gonna break me. He is not going to break me. So I did that. I don't know if they have this same process anymore, but I did that for a weekend and survived. And I'm pretty sure the next weekend I was a server. But I learned determination, which to this day, many years later, serves me well. So you may never know what you're learning until you're my age and you think about it. Also, a fun fact, when I was 18 working at Cater-In, I could not cook. I was terrible. And their chef at the time, Don Freeman, would laugh at me. How was that bad? Well, that ticked me off. And I was determined to learn how to cook. He would just laugh at me, and I just didn't sit well. And as I worked my way through college, 2 degrees at Bradley, all I kept thinking was, my God, I can't wait to get my degree. I never want to work in a restaurant or bar. I'm sick of slinging drinks. I'm sick of smiling and serving Janices and Chads. I cannot wait to get my degree and become rich. Well, fast forward a few decades, and now I own a restaurant. Not sure how that happened. And it is like riding a bike. I can make a good martini. So the Queen of Squash, that's my baby. I wanted to start it in 2017, but my children were a little too young and just wasn't quite the right time. As with every entrepreneur, we are bat-crap crazy. We see the end. We see how marvelous the end is going to be, and that is what is driving us. So people a lot of times are like, why are you doing this to yourself? And I say, because I can see the end. I may seem crazy, but what I'm doing is going to be fantastic. So I have type 1 diabetes. I have a hard time eating around in our community. I am a lifelong resident, but I love to travel. So I travel. I'm the last person in my family to still live here, and I see things that I want in our community. I see what restaurants are serving, and I want to bring it back. So that's kind of where the Queen of Squash started. I started private chefing. You might want to tell Don Freeman that. Most notably, Jim Umpleby, the ex-CEO of Caterpillar, who was very particular. I cannot stress particular, and very clean, and from some surgeons. So I learned to take what traditional Midwest food is, the standard diet, meat and potatoes and starches, and twist it so it actually tastes good. Lots of twisting of flavors and creating different things that may look familiar but aren't quite what you think. We're just pushing the standard American diet because we all know it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We are facing cancer and all kinds of health problems, and it really does start with nutrition and whole foods. As much as I love the fried chicken sandwich at Donnelly's, I cannot eat it on a regular basis. We do have to fuel our bodies. So it did take a long time to start it from scratch. I knew it was going to be hard. Did not know it was going to be this hard. If any of you have any crazy idea that a restaurant would be fun, no, could not do it. I even met with Sean Kenny. He kind of mentored me from Kenny's West Side Pub. And I remember sitting at him and he said, do not do this. And of course, I'm like, no, this is gonna be great. I'm so excited. And he's like, do not do this. And he said, when I opened, we would be there till 4 a.m. I'd sleep on a cot, and then we'd get up and we'd do it all over again. Do not do this to yourself. I didn't listen, because this was gonna be an absolutely fantastic idea. I do have a camping cot at the restaurant, just so you know. So there were a lot of obstacles when we started. The best laid plans, I knew how to do a business plan. I knew how to do a marketing plan. I knew how to talk to the press. Well, out the door. Out the door. Was not what I thought it was going to be. I had spreadsheets. I had presentations. Out the door. Staffing when we started was difficult. I've learned good staff in the restaurant industry are not going to leave for a new restaurant. The probability of it closing, too high. So, I turned to teenagers. Well, they're learning to work. So you have different sorts of issues and challenges in mentoring them and guiding them. So staffing was definitely pretty difficult, still difficult to this day, better because now I have people that have been with me from the beginning, such as her sons. And when the college kids come back, I actually get a break. They drive me crazy, but they are well skilled. Any 18-year-old that can make quinoa and lentils is pretty cool. Yeah. I had people steal from me in the beginning. The building I selected sat empty during COVID, which created massive amount of issues because the electrical, snow got in, all the pipes solidified, everything that was in the pipes that bursted out on the plumbers in the office. That was a fun day. That was a fun day, seeing plumbers covered from head to toe in sludge. I started that day with a cocktail. It was okay. It was okay. You know, fear of the unknown. Every day I feel like a failure, and I just tell myself, you gotta get it up, because I think of the end, The hours, has anyone watched The Bear on Hulu? It is an exact, they consulted with chefs, guaranteed, it is exactly what it is. You go home at night and you curl up in a ball and you eat a Hot Pocket and maybe some chips. They are very long days, especially the first year. You sleep maybe a couple hours if you're lucky in the afternoon on a cot. In the very beginning, we had a room with curtains and couches in it, and 3 people were running the restaurant. We would get there early, we would prep, we would run the lunch shift, then we would all take a nap. Not even joking, we'd turn the lights off, turn a fan on, put a buzzer on the door, and we would all take a nap. Then we'd get up and we'd do the dinner shift and all that, and it was just constant. We were exhausted. The hours do get better, not much, it's okay, because I have passion and I have determination and I'm very resilient. Might have started when I was doing dishes and slicing meat for Jim for hours, thinking he was gonna try to break me. He didn't. Did I mention that? He did not break me. So yeah, we had a lot of obstacles. A lot of lessons I learned were to pivot. Every single day is different. It's different. The cooler went out. You know, I grew up poor. That has served me very well. I can make $1.25 come out of $1. I would say growing up poor is the #1 thing that has helped me with this. Because financially, with any new business, you're gonna go through downs. You're gonna be, okay, I'm gonna move money here, move money here. You know, when you're 18 and you have $20 in your account, you're wondering, do I have enough gas in my car to get to the next paycheck? That shapes you. So when you're moving hundreds and thousands of dollars around, it's cool because you'll remember that. You'll remember, I probably should get the McDonald's app. I have no food and I can get a free French fry. Those are skills. Those are skills. You know, when you start something too, you think it's going to be one way. You think the customers want things a certain way. And I definitely have had to pivot. We have a lot of misconceptions. We have meat. That's one of them because of the name, and never anticipated that. Oh, the name. This is how I got this name. And I just owned it. I was doing private chefing, so I was at the grocery store all the time on Kroger on Knoxville. And I would, for the cashiers, buy weird things. Eggplant, sweet potato, all kinds of squash. And we became friends. And they'd ask me, what is this? What are you doing with this? How do you cook this? Does this even taste like food? So I was a regular, and they started calling me the Queen of Squash. So I just kind of owned it. I'm like, it's kind of weird, but kind of cute. Let's do it. So yeah, that's where the Queen of Squash came from, the cashiers at Kroger on Knoxville. Next time you go there, they are the ones that started this evolution. But definitely, I've had to learn to pivot. The community I thought wanted QR codes. Peoria does not want QR codes. They want full service, you know, so we've kind of shaped it. A lot of our things are different. I kind of like to take different flavors and put them in similar formats, but not really. So certain things like our queso, which is plant-based, my staff are trained not to tell men specifically that it's plant-based until after they eat it, because we get the nose crinkle. We have, this is a real thing. You know, we have people that come in and have panic attacks because they don't think we have meat. We have the most strangest things that happen. They are trained people that are newly changing their lifestyle. These are the things you move them towards, like a Sicilian bowl. It's like a pizza, but it's turkey. You need to move them. You can't go from 0 to 10. You got to go from 0 to 2. It's going to take a process. So, training staff on meeting them where they are at. We get a lot of people that had transplants where they waited too long to change their lifestyle. We get all types of people in their journey. I wish I would have brought a before and after picture of myself. I've had my own personal journey. I was 5 sizes bigger at COVID and just slowly went from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 2. And someone I worked out with sent me a picture. I'm not even sure what year it was, and I didn't even recognize myself. I'm like, what? That can't be me. No way I was running around like that. So yeah, some of the things that keep me going when a child that's been dairy-free their whole life comes in and has nachos for the first time, that is amazing. We get lots of travelers, no offense to Central Illinois, who needs to support me more, but we get lots of travelers with very specific needs. They will come in with lists of allergies and people with celiac that have not ate at a restaurant in 20-some years because they're so sensitive. So that is heartwarming and kind of keeps me going on those days. I think I'm not gonna make it. I haven't had a day off in 2 years, and these kids are coming in drunk and hungover, and I don't even know what's going on. But those stories are what keeps me going, for sure. And to be honest, those kids that we hire keep me young too. I love seeing kids with purpose and drive and resilience and ambition, and I love kind of being a small part of guiding them towards the greater things that they're going to accomplish in their life. But back to the Queen of Squash, I'm rambling here. I hope you try our food. It is amazing, and I'm not just tooting my own horn. I did a lot, and make sure you tell Don Freeman. We did a lot of recipe testing and tinkering, and weird thing, I was good in chemistry in school. That has served me well, because making things taste good and plant-based is all about chemistry and temperature and timing. So I ended up being a decent cook. But yeah, did I answer everything? This has been the most challenging thing of my life. I don't regret it. The first year in particular was very hard, very hard. One thing I would like to leave with you today is every one of you in this room is a leader. Business and the community. I feel like the culture in this area needs to be stronger, supporting small business, and that starts with you. That starts with you supporting any small business multiple times their first year. It's guaranteed it's misery. Misery, they have no money, their credit cards are jacked up, it's just misery. Don Swagel at Morton Community Bank, another local place, we wouldn't be here today without Morton Community Bank. We have 3 loans, and the third one, he said, this is your limit, no more. And I'm like, why? I need more money. I need more money. Yeah, it starts from the top up. It starts from leaders saying, you know what, we're gonna change the culture. It is automatic. Small business opens, we're going 2 to 3 times the first year. And if it is a restaurant or something service related, it may suck. They're working out their kinks, but you're still gonna go back. Because it takes that first year, I have misery, I never want to repeat it. I can't even think of one thing in my entire life that was more miserable. But I survived. That sounds so positive. But I survived because I did dishes and cooked meat at Cater Inn. No. But I did survive, and I still, to this day, I can see the end of the Queen of Squash, and it is not one restaurant, and it is not one concept. and it is pushing the standard American diet, which it doesn't work for us. Whole foods are what we need to put in our body, and that doesn't mean depriving us. That doesn't mean starving. That doesn't mean eating something that tastes like cardboard. It's an uphill battle, but we can change it. We can certainly change it. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
So I'm a whole food, plant-based person. I've been
Love it.
that way for 14 years. I ate at your restaurant very early on, and yes, it was miserable, but I
Sorry.
did come back. You know, it happens. You were part of the Vegan Chef Challenge last year. Do you plan on being part of it this year? Because your food was really good last year.
Yes. It's interesting. We just talked about that. Yes, we did African food last time. Make sure you tell Don Freeman that. And we did win. But more importantly, I was gonna scale back a little bit this year because it is hard to execute training 16-year-olds to serve African food is quite the challenge. But my staff, my older staff said, absolutely not, we are all in. So I have not created the recipes, but you will be pleasantly surprised. And thank you for coming back. One mistake in the beginning was I let people tell me I didn't know what I was doing. I let people with lots of experience say, I know better than you. I know, and I paid them handsomely, and it backfired. Because ultimately, I had to go down in the trenches to figure out what was gonna work, and it took someone who had worked in the restaurant industry many years, but never owned, to go down in the trenches, flip burgers on the flatbread or the main line and do every single piece in order to understand what we needed. That was, and don't let anyone ever tell you you don't know what you're doing, because you may not, just fake it till you make it. And I appreciate you coming back. Like I said, that first year really took me for a loop. Our staff, I have lots of staff, lots of pop-up employees that come back. It's just getting good staff, and the longer they're there, the more trained they are, and we're difficult. We are a difficult restaurant because of the allergies. We now attach the no allergy or the allergy to every seat, every meal, because we're becoming a beacon as a safe place. Lots of plant-based people come and eat, and we want to know that because we have different procedures based off your diet, and definitely lots of dairy-free people are coming in and they're being diagnosed, and that's a whole set of decontamination procedures before we can even make their meal. So we're difficult compared to working at Culver's. It's very, very simple. We are extra. I like extra though. But I appreciate you coming back. The first year is miserable.
I'm from Southern California, and moving to the Midwest was very hard because it's healthier there with the foods. So I wanted to thank you because I know it was very hard for you to bring something healthy here.
Oh, thank you.
I also want to know, how do you have something online, like a website, or do you have menus at your restaurant? Because I know my business, with me talking to people, I have a lot of food allergy people that I can actually pass along your information to them.
You can go to thequeenofsquash.com. We are currently updating our food menu. I'm adding a Caribbean bowl and some other things that were too difficult for this we've had before. We're working on a catering menu. Our catering's about to, it's exploding, which is good. That is what's gonna financially save us. It's just I have to sleep. I can give you my cell phone number. We definitely, if you have a group of people you're feeding, OSF uses this a lot, and you have different special diets, we can accommodate all those. I had one lady come in with a long list, and now I actually made her a little card to give to the server in case I'm not there that tells the kitchen how to cook her meal. She has so many different allergies, so We haven't had one we couldn't accommodate, but yeah. We also have a grab and go market if any of you need meals quick for the week to convenience. It has different stuff than the restaurant. That is very popular. So right now I'm focusing on catering and that as a growth. But the restaurant is amazing if you haven't been in there. It's modern. I try to make it feel like you're in a big city like Chicago or St. Louis. It's just fun. It's a fun experience. Most of our, probably 75% of our customers are travelers, which is different. 90% are women. It's okay, man, you can come in. I have stuff for you to eat too. Yeah, 90% are women. We do cater to women. We have little space heaters for you, little fans. We have glitter cocktails. We definitely try to make you feel special. Yeah. I, once again, appreciate you coming back. There are no words to describe that first year. Sometimes I would sleep in the back seat of my car, not even joking, just to close my eyes and have quiet. It's like, I say it's like a fast-moving train. I want to get off, but I can't. I'm about to change clothes and get back on that train in a minute, but it's a labor of love. Because I believe in the food, I believe in what it's doing. It's very special for this community to have a restaurant that's gluten-free and seed oil-free. We do not have oil fryers. I don't think most people realize how special that is. We are 5 stars on Find Me Gluten-Free, Happy Cow, and a lot of different apps. And I'm pretty sure we are the only gluten-free dedicated restaurant between St. Louis and Chicago, and for people with celiac, that's huge. It is really huge, and I'm proud to bring that to the area. And you don't need gluten anyway, it's taxable. You're gonna feel better without it.